95 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, mostly cloudy. Good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne back here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester, looking at the clouds and bundling up. It does look like it's going to be a pretty chilly day for the remainder of the day. We started off at our high temperature, where we're projecting to only get up to about 22, 23 degrees maybe, and we hit those temperatures after midnight. They've kind of been holding steady, but as we go through the remainder of the day, it does appear as though other than a few flurries, we're going to see some clearing. That'll be later on this afternoon or tonight after sunset, and that's going to open the gates for some pretty chilly temperatures. Right now, Matthew, temperature-wise, what are we looking at right now?
So, over at the airport, we have some flurries, and it's 21 degrees. Over at Midland, we have some flurries, and it's 19. Here at Radio Center, we also have some flurries, but it's 18 degrees. We have northeast winds at 12 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.27, and it's steady.
We're looking, as I said, at mostly cloudy skies. We do have a couple of factors working at us right now. Number one, a big high pressure, and that's the reason why we're getting that cold air, because it's north of the Canadian border, and it's pulling some pretty cold air down. It looks right now as though we're going to have one high pressure after another moving through Canada and keeping us on the cold side, not only for the next day or so, but even though we're going to moderate our temperatures just a little bit, we are going to be falling back into that low to mid 20 degree range for not only a good part of the work week next week, but over the next 10 to 14 days, because all the way through the 21st, we are going to be looking at below average temperatures and slightly below average as far as the moisture goes. Over the next week, we do see one system right after another tracking across the continental United States, but for the most part, they're tracking well to the south of the Mason-Dixon line. So as a result, we're getting the northern part of those systems. They're going to try to push some moisture up our way, but that prevailing cold air is going to be dominating our weather. Now, what is happening is obviously the water is warmer still than what it normally would be this time of the year. So that's helping the temperatures in the lower peninsula and the central and eastern portions of the upper peninsula to moderate just a little bit. But you get on the west side of the UP, where they don't have the benefit of a Lake Michigan, or for that matter, the benefit of Lake Superior when it comes to a northwest, a west, or a southwest wind. Those temperatures are kicking right down to very similar to the Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota area, and also in the central part of the continental United States. Now, there is a low pressure system over the southwestern corner of the continental United States. That's one of two major culprits that's generating all the high winds in Southern California and all the fire problems that they're having out there. Santa Ana winds in combination with a high pressure system over northern Nevada. The low and then the high together are generating that wind tunnel effect, and they are getting some wind gusts of close to 100 miles per hour in that part of the country. There is a high pressure system that's located over Kentucky that's going to be moving into southern Ohio, and that is what is going to help us moderate just a little bit. So we should see some 30-degree temperatures as we move into the weekend. It looks right now as though cloudy skies are going to dominate on Saturday. Cloudy skies are going to dominate on Sunday. And in both cases, our temperature is going to be hovering around the 30-degree mark. And it does look like the 30s are going to be with us, the low 30s, if not just plain old 30, even on Monday. But as we work our way into the middle part of the work week next week, we're going to be looking at not only clouds, but temperatures settling back down into that low 20-degree range. So what are we looking at? Clouds, a few flurries. 22 is our projected high. We've already hit it. We're looking for low tonight with clearing skies of 5. Sun will set this evening at 5:18. Rise tomorrow morning at 8:09. Sunshine, a nice day tomorrow. Temperatures will warm up a little bit too because of that high that we were talking about that's over Kentucky moving into southern Ohio. 27 for a high tomorrow with sunshine. 16 for a low tomorrow night. Again, a function of that high drafting some warmer air from the Gulf Coast. Friday, 27 for a high, 21 for a low. Clouds, some snow showers around, especially in the afternoon. Low pressure over southern Mississippi is going to be moving to the east, and that is going to usher some warmer air that is going to try to push that warmer air up at us, but more so moisture-laden air. So that's where the snow is going to come in for us later in the day on Friday and Friday night, but it's not going to be a lot of snow. Lake effect type activity will be kicking in. So the northwestern corner of the lower peninsula, 4, 5, 6 inches, not out of the question at all. And also southwestern Michigan, we'll be looking at some snow there. So traveling as we approach the second half of the work week and into the upcoming weekend, we are going to be looking at lake effect snows. So if you're going to be traveling to that part of the state of Michigan, be advised you are going to run into some snow squalls and some heavier amounts of snow. Record high in this state is 57. That was set back in 1937. The record low was 7 below zero. That was set in 1992 or 1942 and tied in 1968. Incidentally, the warmest ever 8th of January was in 2008. 56 was our high, 50 was our low. The coldest ever back to 1968. 8 degrees for a high, 7 below zero was our low. A year ago today, we were mild. 36 was our high, 32 was our low. We had no precipitation to report. And you got to go all the way back to 1912 as far as the record amount of snow on this date. That was just a little bit under 5 inches of snow. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew standing by. Who do we have today?
Up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
Before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Rummel Insurance Agency. Remember, they do understand the risks that you take as a Michigan farm and agribusiness owner. That's why they know also that every farm's needs vary like the crops in the field. So consider this. You're more than just a number at the Rummel Agency. They know you have a family, goals, and dreams for your future and how important these are to you. That's why they want to get to know you one-on-one to get the right farm insurance protection for you and your family. Call them today in Frankenmuth, Saginaw, and Carroll, the Rummel Insurance Agency. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Gary, I saw a few of your a few of the folks from Star of the West at the agribusiness meeting yesterday, but you left holding the fort, huh?
Yeah, you can look at it two different ways. Either I drew the short straw or the long straw. But yeah, we had a lot of our group down there at that conference, and course, I always tell people, well, I went last year. We'll let somebody else go this year. So everybody can, participate. But yeah, somebody's got to stay at home and work, Terry.
I guess, and either take the rap or bask in the glory of these prices.
Oh yeah. Markets for the most part here towards the noon hour, it's, wheat and corn's pretty much, right around unchanged, down a penny or so. Wheat's getting pressured by the rise in the U.S. dollar index, again to a 2-year high. So, wheat's down about a nickel. But I think a lot of positioning probably going on too, Terry, ahead of this report on Friday. The trade is estimating that, we're going to see a reduction in the ending stocks on corn, maybe as much as 100 million bushel. And if you look at the tremendous export sales we've been having here since the middle of last summer, that corn carryout's probably gone down over all these reports close to 400 million bushels. So, that's why, we've seen here recently, highest we've seen prices on corn in quite some time. And that's due to the demand we've been seeing.
So right now on the board, what do you have?
Yeah, Terry, right now, let's call cash wheat down a nickel, 5.18 on the white, 4.43 on the red. New crop wheat also down 5 at 5.58 on the white, 4.73 on the red. Cash corn, call it down a penny, 3.87. New crop also down a penny at 3.80. And cash soybeans unchanged at 9.17, and new crop down 2, Terry, at 9.30.
Oh, short straw is right.
Well, we can define it as that for sure.
I guess. So, you have a good one, Gary.
I will. You do the same. Thanks, Gary.
You bet. Talk to you later. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us now. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank, making agricultural loans since 1895. Thumb Bank helps you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. And that's one of the reasons why a few of the folks from Thumb Bank were at that meeting yesterday to learn a little bit more about what is going on, not only in this country, but overseas as well. Thumb Bank, they've got locations to serve you throughout the Thumb and now the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust, equal opportunity lender, and member FDIC. Also, the market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline and Frankenmuth. If you are in the market for a new Ram professional truck, or you're looking at a heavy-duty truck, a Ram heavy-duty truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-linked dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, well, now is the time to see them. Schaefer and Beerline and Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
Learning all about the foreign markets and all of that sort of stuff yesterday. Very interesting seminars. I don't know if anybody from Oppenheimer was there or not, but I saw a lot of folks there, their ears perked up. I didn't see the eyes close at all during that particular session. It was very interesting.
Yeah, a lot there. Well, there's a lot here too going on. So the dollar cleared 109.12. Remember 116 was the last time that the dollar really cruised. So buckle up because it could get worse before it gets better. So that's probably putting some pressure on grains. Little pressure on crude oil, down about 1%. The interesting thing is that the precious metals are going up today, even with a stronger dollar. So that's kind of counter to what you would expect. The stock markets have been extremely volatile. They were down heavy this morning and have kind of sort of almost rallied around. S&P's up about 1,500. The Nasdaq's up about 0.2. The Dow is up about 0.1. So, like I said, extremely volatile. We do have Fed minutes at 2 o'clock today, so they'll get an indication of what the Fed is thinking for the rest of the year. I've heard reports that say you might only get one interest rate cut this year in 25. So, this, of course, the stock market hopes for more of those. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And then Yellen is getting out of the Secretary of Treasury, and I've got a new guy in there. So we'll see how that plays out. A lot going on, like I say. Here's your numbers. The March corn is 4.57, down a penny. September corn 442 3/4, down a penny. The March soybeans 9.97, down 1/4 penny. September soybeans 10.04 3/4, down 2 1/4. The March wheat is 536.5, down 6, and September wheat 571.5, down 5.5. The crude oil 72.69, down 88 cents. Heating oil is 233.43, down 3 1/4 cents. Gasoline is $2.75 penny, down 2 cents. Natural gas 314.5, up 11 cents. Currencies: Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.4382 Canadian. That's up 15 ticks. The dollar buys 158.36 yen. That's up 34 ticks. The euro's at 103.05, down 34 ticks. The dollar's at 109.10. That's up 56 ticks. Gold is at $26.7340, up $16.70. Silver's $30.67, up 12 cents. Platinum's $9.68, up $5.20. Copper's at $424.65, up 5.1 cents.
A lot of ups there.
Yeah, kind of interesting. We'll see what 2 o'clock brings.
Yeah, I guess so. Now, tomorrow, with all the activity going on, what's the trading situation there? Do we have any? Are the markets open? Are they closed because of the Carter tribute, or what's going on?
I think normal day.
Just a normal day. All righty. Well, that's good to know, because we'll be broadcasting over at Horizons Conference Center tomorrow, and I need to know who I need to call.
Okay.
I'm calling you. All righty.
Okay.
Talk to you later, Doug. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland seed dealer. Get a hold of Justin Varner over there for more information. Remember, Dairyland Seed, they've got seed with your name on it from your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983. We're serving you is their business. Matthew, up next, who do we have?
Up next, we have Scott Dumas from Nutrien Ag, and we also have Jerry Samolsky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
But first, this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning out the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Friday, bonus pricing has been extended at Rifkin Steel.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. We've been talking a lot about the winter conference. We broadcast out of there yesterday, and we've been talking about it today because a lot of our folks that work with farmers have been attending these sessions for a very good reason, because not only is there a lot of pertinent information, but things are really changing and have changed since, I want to say, a year ago. Along with me right now is Scott Dumas with Nutrien Ag. And Scott, your troop is in Lansing today as well, aren't they?
Yes, we've got quite a few of our people there yesterday and today both. So yeah.
What is
learned up on everything?
Yeah, what does a conference like that mean to you and for all the guys that work with you at Nutrien?
So for us, it's a time. It's beginning of the year. Start the year off with this conference, and there's a lot of information there, valuable information for all aspects of the agronomy for us as far as agronomy providers. Going into 2025, be it fertilizer, new crop protection that may be available, or new techniques, and also new products, new equipment, in the trade show and the floor area there. And so it's a good time of year to start the new year off right.
Yeah, I saw some pretty impressive pieces of equipment over there. The drones kind of took my interest. especially given the fact that you're hearing more and more and more about drone technology and the uses of drones down the road. Is this something that you folks are going to be looking at, or are you utilizing some of that technology now, Scott?
So in Michigan, we are not utilizing that technology. We're definitely looking at it, but right now we're just standing on the sidelines and watching and hoping, looking at new drones that are becoming available that have more uses, more potential for more acreage per tank.
And again, these units aren't cheap. They're not cheap to you. And obviously with any wholesaler, retailer, you pass the cost of that down to the consumers. So when you do utilize that equipment, and I get your point, you definitely want to have a unit. If you're going to stick a bunch of money into it as the supplier, you want this thing to not only work, proven to work, but also have the technology behind it to educate the people that you're providing that service to.
That's correct. And it's just like any new technology. Every year there's something better and more useful. I mean, just look at our cell phones these days compared to what we started with. I remember starting with a bag phone, and I'm not saying we're that far away, but every year these drones continue to improve. And that's what we're just waiting for, that right time to enter that market.
Okay. Scott, we really appreciate your time. You take care. I'm sure we'll be bumping into you or the Nutrien guys in a lot of these meetings coming up here over the next couple of months.
Yes, for sure.
Take care. Scott Duma over at Nutrien Ag. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Very competitive prices on quality parts and service, and they've been doing it for more than 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. Jerry Samolsky joining us right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center over in Essexville. Jerry, what should we be looking at right now?
Terry, we should be looking outside and looking at evergreens. We, in the last, I don't know how many years, there's been a trend away from junipers, yews, and within evergreens for smaller shrubs, we can't use Mugo pine anymore. Bird's nest spruce seems to be selling a lot, but there's just not a lot of small evergreens to use, where the juniper and the yews were used a lot back in the day, but they've so much fallen out of favor because, they're so old fashioned. Everybody's got them. And then after a while, they look terrible because people don't know how to prune them. But gosh, right now is really where those needled evergreens are really important, and they really help hold a landscape together for the 6 months that we don't have leaves. So, this might be a tip of what we might be seeing for our plant of the week coming up. But at the end of the day, evergreens are really important. This is the time of year that we really miss them. So we need to put evergreens back into our landscapes and have them as a placeholder. And they've got color and texture. They really help set off some of the other plants that you use in your landscape as well. So let's all think about evergreens, look out and enjoy them for now, and think about putting them in next spring.
Good advice. Jerry, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. How do farmers feel about the state of the economy coming in for 2025? Let's find out. More information now from the Michigan Ag Today, folks.
Well, this month's Purdue Ag Economy Barometer tells us a lot about how farmers feel about the 2024 election. Eric Pfeiffer joins us with more.
CJ, they do this survey each month of 400 U.S. ag producers, and some of these questions they started asking just prior to the election and then again after. And here's one of them. Will environmental regulations impacting agriculture be more restrictive, less restrictive, or about the same 5 years from now?
And the results in November, December compared to October are quite striking.
That's Jim Mintert, principal investigator of the survey, now professor emeritus at Purdue after his recent retirement.
61% of the people in the survey said they looked for those environmental regulations affecting agriculture to be less restrictive.
In a similar way, producers were asked before and after the election about income taxes and whether they thought they'd be higher, lower, or about the same 5 years from now.
In October, only 8% said they expect to see lower income tax rates. In both November and December, that was up to 36%.
And Mintert says it was a similar story for estate tax rates, leading him to conclude that farmers' attitudes about the future are improved because they expect to see a different regulatory and tax environment. One question they began to ask after the election:
how likely do you think U.S. agriculture is at risk of a trade war that results in a significant decrease in U.S. ag exports?
And quite a few producers believe we are.
48% of producers in December said they think a trade war is either likely or very likely. That's up a little bit, up from 42% who felt that way in November.
And the final question:
do you think that the fall 2024 election outcome will lead to a farm safety net that is stronger than, weaker than, or about the same as before the election? And 55% said they expect to see a stronger safety net.
Putting profits on the bottom line? Well, it starts with saving half the cost of seed before you get started. High Fidelity Genetics offers non-GMO seed, corn, and soybeans that qualify for organic production. And test plots prove that you get the best for less with High Fidelity Genetics. Go online and find out more. HighFidelityGenetics.com or give them a call. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The devastating toll grows in Southern California from deadly and destructive wildfires.
My heart just breaks for all my neighbors who have lost their homes.
She lives in Pasadena. Officials report more than 1,000 structures destroyed in L.A. County. Fire Chief Anthony Maroney.
We have over 500 personnel